Hi, my name is Kai. I'm sick. I make videos about my life, and welcome to my chronic illness essentials list. If you have never seen my beautiful face before, welcome. I'm glad to have you. My name is Kai. I've got a genetic mutation that affects my collagen production, that affects my connective tissue. It's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it affects a whole lot of my life. So I have a lot of other like comorbidities like hearing loss, migraines, some heart issues. I've got a beautiful port going on, GI tract paralysis, allergy disorders, and just the list kind of goes on and on. They affect me a lot every day, and so I have a video talking all about that. And if you want to learn more, check out the rest of my channel because I talk about it a lot. But this video is going to be all about things that I have found help me manage my chronic illnesses better. I will try to link as many of these products as I possibly can down in the description below, so if you'd like to get yourself any one of these, check out the description and I will have tried to link as many as I can. Some of these have been gifts or things that I've just had for a long time, or things you can buy more generically, but I will try to link as many as I can down below. The first kind of category of things I want to talk about are like heat related products. So anytime I've got like an injury or I'm sore, I love to use like heat products. I've never been somebody who likes to use ice, although I know there's a lot of like cool ice packs and things like that out there. I'm not really going to be talking about that because I don't really use any ice products. I always have preferred heat to ice. To start with the list, I've kind of got a few basics. The first one's going to be a hot water bottle. This is just something that you can, a little rubber bottle, you can get them in different sizes or different ways, and I just have this one. I like to fill it up with hot water and hold it wherever I am feeling the most pain. I tend to use my hot water bottle specifically for like period cramps or just abdominal cramping in general if I'm having some GI issues. I find it doesn't help all too much anywhere else for the shape that I have, but it works really well for my abdomen. Second one on the list is a heat pad, an electric heat pad specifically. So the pros of an electric heat pad are that you don't have to keep refilling it with water. It kind of stays hot as long as you want. Cons are you have to stay plugged in wherever it's plugged into, which I have been known to set up a ridiculous thing with extension cords and walk around with a heat pad regardless. I don't necessarily suggest doing that, but it does work. Probably one of my favorite products I use every single day is my electric blanket, and I love this thing with my entire life. This is, I adore my electric blanket. I keep it in between the sheet and the comforter on my bed, so I keep it plugged in my bed, and I honestly sleep with it on every night, which I know you're not technically supposed to because it might be a fire hazard, but mine is an auto off one. And I just love being nice and toasty and warm when I go to sleep, and I find that when I sleep with an electric blanket, my joints hurt a lot less the next day just because I've been like stewing in warmth all night, and so all of my joints are nice and toasty, and it's always super nice. Something that I found when I was first getting sick was these little stuffed animals that you can like heat up, and I love them. I had this cute little unicorn one, and it makes me so happy. You can just pop them in the microwave, heat them up, and just kind of use them. Pros of this, obviously, they're cute as all heck, and they can kind of go anywhere, but once again, like the water bottle, I tend to find it works best for my abdomen, except also like the water bottle, you have to kind of keep reheating it for it to stay warm, but they're so cute, and they just double as a stuffed animal in my bed when I'm not using them. So I love my little unicorn, and it's my favorite. This was a recent find, and it has probably changed the game for heat for me. I got it specifically for my wrist because I was really struggling to keep an electric kind of heat pad wrapped around my wrist, especially if I wanted to use it when I was like working or doing something else. It was just kind of annoying and bothersome, and I found this on Amazon and I was like, immediately, I need it. This will change my life, and honestly it kind of has. And it's not just for wrist, you can use it on shoulders or hips or knees or any other joint. You can kind of wrap it up like a brace you normally would, plug it in, and it just kind of heats up. It's got different settings and a really long extension cord so I can go do things with it still. And it's made like having a bunch of wrist pain a lot easier for being able to like use heat on it while I'm trying to do things, and I love it. So as somebody who's chronically ill, I spend a lot of my time right here in my bed, just kind of relaxing, sleeping, doing work from my bed, hanging out with my friends on my bed. Like, my bed is where I live from. And so I've got a few fun things on my bed that kind of help me spend a lot of time there and manage my symptoms for my bed. So the first thing is going to be a kind of organizing cart I keep next to my bed. This is where I keep all of my medication, all of my sharpens, braces, anything I need quite immediately or anything like that. Just for easy grab from my bed, so I don't have to get up and do anything if I need medication or something like that while I'm in my bed. It's white, so it looks really cute with all my furniture. It's pretty easy to clean, and I love just having it kind of there for anything I may need, and it helps me organize stuff a lot and not take up too much space in things like my dresser or anywhere else where I may have put my medication before. This is something my mother got for me a few years ago before I got really sick, and I just like doing homework from bed occasionally, and it's this cute little lap desk, and mine is a little like, it has like a little bean bag underneath it, so it kind of like squishes around. It's got a little cup holder, it's got a little barrier so you can set stuff down and like tilt it at an angle. I love it because it's small, light, and cute, and so I can kind of like have it anywhere, position it anywhere, and it just helps me do some work from bed. Sometimes when I'm in some awkward positions to, you know, accommodate some joint pain in various spots. My biggest suggestion for making a bed comfortable obviously are great sheets and blankets and pillows, but also a mattress pad, a really good squishy mattress pad, because regardless of your mattress pad is just so much more like easy in case something spills on your bed, so you can wash that instead, and it won't get down to your mattress, and they also just make your bed a lot comfier. So I actually have 2 separate mattress pads on there. I have no idea where either of them are from. I apologize, I think one of them's from Amazon, the other one's older, but I have both of them on there, so I just have extra squish on my bed so my joints don't get like pressed into the mattress quite as hard, and I just kind of sink into my mattress and it's nice and comfortable. Not everybody obviously wants a squishy bed, but I love having a squishy bed because it dislocates my joints a lot less when it's squishy. I also suggest getting a little arm pillow chair thing. I got mine from Target several years ago, and I use it when I'm just sitting in bed and working, but I also use it for pots. We're supposed to kind of sit or sleep kind of sitting up just a little bit, so I use it to kind of lean a bunch of pillows into, so I'm kind of at an angle in a much more comfortable position, and I love it because it's squishy and just adds more comfort to my bed. I highly suggest getting good pajamas. If you're anything like me and you've maybe had a few surgeries, and you just spend a lot of time in bed sometimes when you're sick, good pajamas that are cute are so helpful. I just get the little Target brand pajamas. It's like a button-up set. I love them because I hate sleeping in pants, so I get the short set with a t-shirt. The buttons are fantastic because you don't have to button them and unbutton them if you're like, I have some hand mobility issues, so I don't have to button them and unbutton them, and most of the time I don't. However, when I've had things like my port surgery and it gets really painful to kind of like put a shirt on over my head because I'm moving my arm a lot, having something that I can just button up is really, really convenient. So I absolutely adore these pajamas. They're really comfortable, they're not too expensive, and I feel cute wearing them. So my next kind of category is symptom relief, and these are all things I've kind of acquired over the counter that have helped me to kind of manage like symptoms. Obviously pain medication is one of those things, but something that I found and my GI suggested after, oh gosh, I think this must have been a year after my gastroparesis first got really bad. She suggested I try motion sickness patches just for the heck of it. It can't do anything bad. It's not like there's like any real side effects from them. So I tried them out. They don't help a whole lot, but they do help a little bit. So I always just kind of keep them on me just in case. They're also great to have if you are actually going somewhere and somebody else does get motion sick, then you're always prepared. But I love keeping them. They're not expensive, they're not hard to get. I just order them from Amazon and keep a few on me all the time, and if things are getting really bad and I just need to take the edge off just a little bit, they work pretty well. Something else I found that works okay is like ginger chews. I honestly, every time I've gotten them, I get them somewhere else. I don't typically actually use them all that much just because I'm not a huge ginger person, but they are sometimes nice if you get like 2 or 3 of them. Some people swear by them, some people they don't do anything for. For me, they're kind of like hit or miss, but I still always carry them just in case. For when I am having kind of bad pain days, I also like to carry Voltaren gel and icy hot patches with me a lot because, once again, they're not things that are gonna like cure my chronic pain or anything like that, but they kind of take the edge off just a little bit, especially icy hot patches. They're one of my favorites. So I always keep a few in my backpack, and I always keep a few next to my bed. That way I always have some on hand if I have a particular joint that is just not cooperating that day and I need just a little extra pain relief there. So something I found that helps me carry all of my sort of symptom relief stuff, because most of my actual symptom relief stuff is all going to be medication, whether that's over the counter sort of pain meds or allergy meds, or if that's things like Phenergan that are more like prescription nausea meds or things like that. I always try and keep them in a travel bag together. That way, no matter where I'm going, I have one bag that I can have all of my medical stuff in and transfer from bag to bag. So if one day I want to have this backpack, the next day I want to have this purse, all I have to do is grab my little medical bag that I have inside and move it from bag to bag, and I have all of my medical stuff with me. And I love having a little clear bag, that way I can also bring it to places where they require clear bags for security reasons or things like that. And I have these little travel pill containers that I adore having to kind of keep all of my medication organized and separate and sort of like cut down, because I couldn't put all of these pill bottles into my backpack at one time. So it helps me be able to bring just a few of the medications that I don't need every day but may end up needing while I'm out and about. There are other options for this pill container. The one I have is kind of small and limited, but there's some ones that are bigger with more labels or things like that. But for my purposes, I do like the one that I have because it is pretty small and I can fit it in smaller purses and bags much easier. Something that I like to try and keep on me a lot is my oximeter, and this also goes into my travel bag. And I keep this with me just to check on my heart rate or oxygen, because I've had some heart issues in the past, especially both with POTS and my supraventricular tachycardia syndrome. Keeping an eye on my heart rate is pretty important, just so I'm not accidentally overdoing it or pushing my heart too hard. And I don't tend to use it nearly as much anymore, just because I'm pretty good at knowing what my heart rate is, and now I have an Apple Watch that tells me almost all the time what my heart rate is, and don't tend to need my oximeter, but I do still always carry it, especially because when I was having the worst of my SVT, I didn't have an Apple Watch at the time, so that was kind of my only way of tracking my heart rate at all. And the one that I have is really cute. It's pink and white, and you'll find this is a common thing with me, is I love pink and I love white. I hate like medical colored things. I hate like bright blue or like the neon pink or like just black or beige. Like they're just medical things can be pretty and cute too, and I hate when they're not. So this is my personal vendetta against any medical stuff that's ugly looking. And if I can find a cute version of it, even if it's a bit more expensive, I will probably go for that one. And with that, I'm moving into sort of my general things. So like I said about the pill travel containers, they're fantastic, but I find it's also good to have a regular pill container. And there's a lot of really cool and fun ones. The one that I have has 3 different pill categories per day. Each day is a separate container, so I only have to bring the 1-day container. And it's in a box, so they're all held together, and it's pretty easy to transport. They're large enough to hold all my pills, but not too big that they become like super clunky and annoying to transport. It's also rainbow, and I like how that looks. It's also a good idea if you have any medical conditions to kind of have a medical ID. And there's different ways to do it. You can have one that goes in your wallet card, you can have one that's a bracelet and goes on like an Apple Watch, or you can have one that's more like jewelry, like an actual bracelet or a necklace. I personally have a necklace one. I used to keep a wallet card one as well, but I found it was hard to update. And my necklace works well enough, and I keep a digital medical ID on my Apple phone and Apple Watch as well, so that's where most of my updating information is from my health standpoint. So the next thing I want to talk about is things like tape and braces and splints and all of that fun joy of joint things. And so I personally buy my KT tape from Amazon, and this is just any sort of tape that I need to hold a joint in place. So anytime I don't necessarily have a brace for something, I have tape for it. And I just like getting this one from Amazon because it has an option in white and it's not too expensive. Because like I said before, I'm very picky with my colors, and if I can spend a little bit more money for tape that is cute looking, I will, because I'd much rather have white tape than bright blue, because bright blue doesn't go with any of my outfits or style or anything. Obviously, joint braces are going to vary from person to person. Everybody's going to need different ones, and most of the braces that I've acquired over the time that I've had EDS and all of these issues have been like kind of randomly, impulsively when I need them, and not so much as like insurance. But I do love having my finger splints, and I have the oval 8 ones. I ordered them off Amazon. I know there's like prettier ones, but I am way too terrified of spending money on an expensive like brace that I may not know if it's the right size for me. So I've like been too chicken to actually buy any of the like pretty ones, so I just use the oval 8 ones for my fingers, and I do love them. My PT and OT have been the people who've been like helping me with most of the braces that I have, but I have a really cute shoulder brace for if my shoulders dislocate. It's clunky, annoying, and uncomfortable, but it's a cute color, so, and you're not going to get a comfortable shoulder brace anyways, but I like this one. I think almost all of my other braces are from like CVS. Nothing fancy there. And that kind of takes me to mobility aids. So I kind of have 2 main mobility aids that I use. One is a cane, though I rarely use that anymore. It's really only if I've dislocated a joint really badly in my legs, or I'm really not doing well and I can't bring my walker somewhere. But my walker is my favorite one, and I have a whole nother video on it up here if you want to go check it out. But I love my walker with a passion. It has become like a staple in me getting around places, because it means that I don't have to carry something. I can just put it there. I have somewhere to sit down when I'm out and about. I've got a little extra support for when I'm walking, which are all really cool and great things, and I love having it, and I could not be happier about it. I do also have a shower chair, and this is for anybody who has POTS or anything that like causes them issues when they're sort of maybe standing up in the shower or anything like that, whether it's joint pain or like fatigue or dizziness, whatever it may be. I love having my shower chair. I don't have a really nice one. It's just kind of white because this is the least offensive I can find that was plastic and actually like was gonna work. I have one with a back on it just because I know I get some pretty bad back fatigue if I'm sitting up in chairs without a back. So mine has a back in it. It's kind of a pain to clean, I'm not gonna lie, but it works pretty well and I enjoy having it, and I think it is a massive must for anybody with POTS, fatigue, or any sort of joint pain that makes it hard to stand up in the shower. And like, honestly, I know it's such a medical thing or an old person thing, but like, it's not. It's for a shower chair is for anybody, and I love my shower chair, and I can actually enjoy my showers now with it. So get a shower chair if you need it. It is fantastic. My last real serious category is going to be sort of just like little like aids. I don't know how else to call them, but I have a few little kitchen aids. So these are things that open up pots for me, make it easier to grip things that open cans. I also have an electric can opener, and this helps a lot with like not having to like grab a can and put things on and twist it, because I've got a lot of like wrist issues that kind of affect my hand mobility and like dexterity. So things like an electric can opener are great. Things that can open jars for me, things that can open up cans for me are all really amazing. And I don't honestly use them that much, but like when there's days that I need them, it is so nice to be able to have them. And the ones I got are maybe a bit more expensive because, once again, they are white and gray. They'll look a lot better than the bright blues or whatever other colors are out there. And that is a very important thing to me. Clothing aids are another big one. Like I said, I don't have great hand dexterity, and the buttons sometimes on clothes are a little difficult, so I have something that opens up buttons. I almost rarely have issues with zippers, but it also does zippers for me, which is pretty cool. And I like just keeping it in my bathroom for when I'm getting ready in the morning. If I need to have it, it's right there for me. Something I mentioned a lot throughout this video is things looking good, and for me that's honestly really important. Having a chronic illness sucks. It's not fun being sick. We're in pain, we're tired, nobody understands us sometimes, and it's not the best thing in the world. But having things that look cute, having things that are funny or silly or look great, really make a world of a difference. Feeling beautiful and being in a beautiful space have been things that have helped me so much through my chronic illness journey, and I don't think I would have realized how important they were until I got sick. Because just because you're sick doesn't mean you don't want things to look good. So here are all my little extra tidbits of things that I think make having a chronic illness a little bit nicer and a little bit more fun. My first on the list is kind of Tubie tape or Tubie pads or anything of that nature, and this one really only goes for medical devices. So for my port, when I have it accessed, I'll sometimes put Tubie tape around the dressing to keep the dressing down and make it look a little bit cuter. If you have any like feeding tubes, Tubie tape can help keep it down or decorate grip lock. Tubie pads can help with all of that, and I've linked a few absolutely amazing small business small businesses that make Tubie items and that I absolutely adore. I don't have a feeding tube, so I don't actually have any Tubie pads, but I do have some Tubie clips and Tubie tape for my port when it is accessed. Following up with that, Band-Aids. Fun Band-Aids make my life so much better, especially if I'm at the infusion center and it's just I need a Band-Aid. I bring my own that are cute looking and they make me feel a little bit better. But these can go for anybody. This isn't just chronically ill. Cute Band-Aids are a game changer for everything. I mentioned earlier too that I spend a lot of time in my bed. I spend a lot of time in my room for that matter, even if I'm working at my desk or working in my bed, but having a cutely decorated room is something that makes me a lot happier to be here. Obviously, I don't know you. I'm just somebody on the internet that you're watching and I can't actually see who you are, so I can't give you specific advice on how to decorate your room. But decorating your room is something that makes it feel so much more like your space, and I love white furniture. I love having just a bunch of reminders of like the friends I have and the good times I've had, so I have a lot of photos on my wall. I have a lot of artwork that my friends have made me on the walls, just a whole lot of fun art stuff on the walls too, so just things that are pretty or remind me of good memories I have or good friendships that I have. I also like to keep fairy lights in my room and other like light up things, that way when it's kind of dark and I can't sleep but I don't want to have like the overhead light on, I have a bunch of like ambient lighting throughout my room that just makes it feel softer and cozier and a lot nicer. And I just adore having a bunch of lighting in my room and making it feel nice and safe and cozy. Alright, that is all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and maybe some of these have been a bit helpful. Let me know what products help you and make your life a little bit better. And as always, much love, and I will see you in my next video.